guys are reading the book, Did You Take My Book? And group 3, you guys are finishing up chapter 7 of Island of the Blue Dolphin. For news to you this week, did anyone read news to you yesterday? Do your assignment? Know what the article's about? Did anyone do their work yesterday? Virtual? Do you remember what the article's about? An award show. Do you know what the award show's called? Grammys. Yes, it's the Grammys. Good job. So group 1 is doing definitions and describing pictures. Group 2 is doing some fill in the blanks, the puzzle page, and also describing the pictures. At 10:20, we're doing the Math Live Zoom. And then for unique learning today for math, we're talking about counting like coins. So coins that are the same. For Explore Math, we are doing reading a paycheck. So something really important when you get a job, you get a paycheck, right? And so we got to work on reading a paycheck. And then news to you math, we're working on which number is greater. And then for our social lesson, we are working on, it's about a birthday. The character's having a birthday this chapter. Anyone have any questions about what we're doing today? We're all good to go? We're ready to read about taxes and laws. So excited. We're ready?
I see that thumbs up. Thank you. What about you over here? Where's thumb? Where's your thumb? No noise. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to let Miss Taylor take it away.
All right. Get all my things going here.
Stop doing that. That's crazy. That's being crazy.
Let's see. All right, you guys. So our vocabulary word today is king. So our definition is a king is a man born to rule a country. What kind of word is this? Is it a noun, verb, or adjective?
Noun.
Noun. Thank you. It is a person. Yes. All right. Can anyone use king in a sentence for me?
The king rules over the city.
The king rules over the city. I like that one. Can anyone else use king in a sentence? I'm a king. Okay. I like that. Those are great sentences.
Let go. Let go, miss.
All right, you guys.
Let go.
You did a great job with that. I'm going to hop over to our chapter.
I said let go.
Fix my screen here.
No racing.
All right, you guys. Chapter 2, taxes and laws.
I want to go for a while.
The King of Great Britain wanted a way to make the colonists pay for the war. He made the colonists pay taxes on many things. A tax is extra money paid when buying goods. The colonists did not get to vote on the taxes.
So remember in our last chapter, we were talking about how the king wanted to make the colonists pay for the war, even though that wasn't really fair because he sent them soldiers and all those things. And we're going to talk about it more a little bit tomorrow. But a tax is extra money paid when buying goods. And he started to tax some really crazy things. And did they get to vote on the taxes and what they paid for? Did they get to vote on it? No, they didn't. Do you think that's fair? No.
The king made the Sugar Act. This was a tax on a kind of sugar many colonists used called molasses. The king made colonists buy some goods, like molasses, only from Great Britain. This made the colonists mad.
So what was the sugar called?
Molasses.
Molasses. And did the colonists like that? That they had to pay extra money for it?
Did they
No.
like it?
No.
It made them angry.
The king told the colonists that they must provide homes and food for the British soldiers. This was called the Quartering Act. Soldiers could stay in forts, houses, and barns if necessary. The colonists had to feed them. The colonists did not like this law.
So what was the Quartering Act? What did the colonists have to do? Provide homes for who?
Feed them.
Yeah, they had to feed the soldiers. What else did they have to do? They had to give them a place to live, right?
Yes.
Yeah. They had to feed them. They had to stay in their houses or barns. And they didn't get a choice. The king just made them do it.
The Stamp Act was made by the King of Great Britain. It made all paper goods cost more. This included newspapers, legal papers, and playing cards. The colonists did not think the taxes were fair. Some colonists formed a group called the Sons of Liberty. This group protested the King of Great Britain and the taxes he put on the colonists.
So the Stamp Act, the king made all paper goods cost more. So any newspapers, papers that they had to use legally, or like cards that you play with, they automatically cost more. And then what group was formed? What did the colonists do about it? What group is it? They formed the Sons of what?
Liberty.
The Sons of Liberty, good job. And they protested the King of Great Britain and the taxes that he was giving to the colonists.
There was a fight one night between some colonists and some British soldiers. It was known as the Boston Massacre. The colonists threw sticks and snowballs at the soldiers. The fighting kept going until some of the soldiers hurt and killed 5 colonists. This made the colonists angry at the British king.
So what did the colonists throw at the soldiers? What did they throw?
Snowball.
They fought.
And
Stick.
and sticks. Thank you. What was the fight called? The Boston Massacre.
The king made another law called the Tea Act. He told the colonists they could only buy tea from one company. He also put a very high tax on the tea. The colonists were very mad. They tried to send the tea back to Great Britain but could not.
So the king also put a tax on tea. So not only could they only buy tea from one place, but then there was extra money that they had to pay on the tea. And they couldn't send the tea back to Great Britain, so they had to pay for it regardless.
This caused the Boston Tea Party. It was not a real party. Colonists went to the port in Boston. They went on to British trading ships carrying the tea. They dumped the tea into the ocean. They dumped over $1 million in tea.
So what was the Boston Tea Party? What did they do?
They dumped the tea over the boat.
They dumped the tea into the ocean. How much money of tea did they dump in the ocean?
$100 million.
$1 million worth of tea. That's a lot of tea, right? Crazy.
The King of Great Britain was angry about the Boston Tea Party. He closed the port where the tea was dumped. The colonists used the port to buy and sell goods. This hurt all the colonists who lived there, not just the ones who dumped the tea. More and more colonists grew angry at the king.
So the colonists made the king really mad, so he closed the port where they dumped the tea, and that is where they used to buy and sell their stuff. So then they weren't able to make any money or get any of the things that they need, which just made the colonists more angry. So then everyone was mad. All right, let's look at our timeline here. So in April 1764, the King of Great Britain made the Sugar Act. In 1765, the King of Great Britain made the Stamp Act. In March, also in 1765, the King of Great Britain made the Quartering Act. Then in 1717, the Boston Massacre happened. In 1773, the King of Great Britain made the Tea Act, and then in 1773, the colonists threw tea in the ocean in the Boston Tea Party. Any questions about that before we move on? Thumbs up in here if we got it.
Thumbs up.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. Love that participation. All right. So what was our chapter about? Yeah, it was about colonists, but what else? What was the main thing that we talked about? The what that the king gave to colonists. Starts with the T. The taxes. So remember, there was the Sugar Act. So he taxed sugar, which is also called what? Does anyone remember?
Molasses.
Molasses. Thank you. So he taxed the sugar. He taxed the tea. There was the Quartering Act, where the colonists had to do what with the soldiers? They had to
Right.
feed them and give them a place to what?
Stay.
A place to stay. So our key detail number one we can say is the Sugar Act. Okay, and then what did we just say? We have the Quartering Act. And then what is like the third major thing that happened? He taxed tea. So what happened after that?
They threw the tea over the boot.
Yeah, do you remember what that's called? What that was called? The Boston
Tea Party.
Tea Party. Thank you. So what else is important to know about this chapter? What other major things happened? So there was the Boston Tea Party. There was a fight in Boston too. Does anyone remember what that was called? Boston. Starts with an M.
Message.
The Boston Massacre. Does anyone remember what happened there? The colonists threw what at the soldiers?
Sticks and snowballs.
Sticks and snowballs. Do you remember how many colonists died during the Boston Massacre?
5.
Oh, great job! All right, you guys, well, that is it for today. You did a great job with that. Let me pause here.